Welcome to Betting the Breeders' Cup, presented by FanDuel. These races are tough, contentious, big fields, especially in the FanDuel Mile, presented by PDJF. Morning line odds presented by FanDuel. Modern Games, bit of a controversial winner. Not for anything he did in last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. He comes back in the FanDuel Mile as your morning line favorite at 7-2 for Red Hot trainer Charlie Appleby. Welcome to our set overlooking the far turn here at Keeneland Racecourse. Britt Ear, Nick Luck, Matt Bernier. I found this to be one of the most challenging races on the card. If you think Modern Games can be beat, can Modern Games be beat?
I think there is no shot Modern Games goes off 7-2 or bigger. I'd be amazed if he did. And
so what would your guess be?
Well, I suspect he'll be nearer a 2-1 shot. Would be my guess. I know this is a deep race, but I think he'll be pretty short. I certainly think he deserves to be favourite because his win in the Woodbine Mile was brilliant and he was dominant in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf last year, so conditions are going to be right up his street. The reason I don't want to back him at the likely short odds that he's going to be is I wish he hadn't had the run in between Woodbine and now at Ascot, which I think might have just taken half an edge off him. I'm guessing, of course, but I'm trying to find an angle into this race. That's the reason why I'm going to take on the front of the market. I want to take on Modern Games, and I want to take on Kinross as well, who's parked out wide on ground that'll be too quick over a distance that may not be his optimum. And I'm interested in Annapolis, the American horse here, who seems to be completely overlooked at double-figure odds. Matt, if I'm saying that I don't think Modern Games is going to be a 7-2 shot, I can't believe Annapolis is going to be double figures.
No, and we'll get to Annapolis here momentarily, Nick. But to the point of this race being very difficult and competitive, we could spend 20 minutes on this race and make cases for all 14 of them.
Do we have it?
I wish we did. But
I think it's one of the races of the weekend.
100%. And really, it kind of is in line with what we saw in the Coolmore Turf Mile here a few weeks ago during Keeneland's fall meet, where it was as stacked a field as you're going to see in North America. And by the way, no surprise, the vast majority of the good ones are back here in this spot. Modern Games, if he runs back to the Woodbine Mile, I think he probably wins. It was just so spectacular. And he really feels like an American kind of horse. He likes firm turf. He likes a little bit of speed to run at. I think he's going to come with his run. Whether or not it's good enough, we'll find out. You brought up Kinross, and I'm going to bring up Dreamloper. I don't know about the ground for either of them. Yes, they're capable on firm, but I think they actually want a little bit of cut. I don't think they're going to get that.
There's no think about that, Matt. Kinross is definitely... his optimum conditions would be with a bit of cut. He's in such great form, he might get away with it.
And Dreamloper's best races have come over in France at Longchamp. So I'm a little bit dubious about them handling this really on the firmer side of things, especially compared to what
it's not necessarily California firm, but
no, it's not. A Dreamloper's trainer will tell you that French-going descriptions, just don't ever believe them. They never correspond to what they say. They call it soft, and it's not, and it was sometimes can be quite quick ground, as it was when she won the Prix de Moulin. So I wouldn't worry so much about that. It's a question of the extent to which you believe the validity of her form that day, I think, and to what extent you think the real Order of Australia actually showed up.
So you have Dreamloper. You brought up Order of Australia. We'll get to him momentarily. Regal Glory is another big one in here for Chad Brown, a filly taking on the boys. She's rock solid at this mile distance. I'm a little bit concerned that she doesn't class up to the best of the best in here. But again, we could go on for 10 hours about this race. Domestic spending is the wild card.
What do you do with him?
Me personally, I'm against him simply because he's drawn way out in the parking lot. And we haven't seen him in, almost a year and a half now. On his best day, he can certainly win a race like this. And I will say this absolutely definitively. If he wins, it's the best training job Chad Brown will ever do in his entire career, now or in the future, to get this horse to win a race like the mile off this kind of layoff against this kind of field. Again, you could go so many different ways. Order of Australia won the mile here 2 years ago. No reason to think that he's not coming up on a peak effort, but long-winded way of saying the horse that I want in here is Annapolis, the one that Nick likes as well. I know he had a dream trip saving ground every inch away when he won that Coolmore Mile last time out. But something that no one is discussing, the pace of that race completely disintegrated. And this horse, Annapolis, was tucked in about a length and a half off of it throughout, and he still outkicked some of the quality closers, whether it is Order of Australia or Ivar. I think this is a proper horse, and don't misconstrue what I'm saying. He has the running style of a Wise Dan and a Tepin, a couple of Breeders' Cup Mile winners in the past, a couple of Hall of Famers. I think he has that sort of... He has those traits, let's put it that way. I'm not going to say he is of that caliber just yet, but I like Annapolis a lot. And if I've got much left in that bankroll on Saturday afternoon, much of it's going on him.
Yeah, Matt, do we think that we've seen his ceiling yet, or as a 3-year-old, there's more there?
No shot. I think we're just scratching the surface. He took that necessary step forward in his first time against older horses last month, moved up to, I believe, right around a 103 Beyer speed figure. I think you've got another forward move coming. And again, the dynamic of the race, no, he's not going to save every inch of ground, but Beyond Brilliant has to go. I don't see any other way for him to run.
Right.
Another horse in here that's going to be forward is Smooth Like Straight. Those two are going to go. I think Annapolis and Irad Ortiz Jr. are in just behind them. He gets first run on Modern Games and company like that. I'm hopeful he has enough left in the tank to finish the deal. I just think Annapolis, I think he's a very, very talented racehorse.
Matt, there's only one leader here, surely, Pogo, from the inside. Our old friend Pogo.
Our old buddy Pogo.
Are we making this more perplexing, or are we helping people out?
It's easy. We agree Annapolis is going to win the race.
Okay.
Our friend Pogo, to be fair, Pogo's a quality horse. The amount of speed in this race, and I mean proper speed between the California runners, I don't see Pogo making the front.
I like Regal Glory. Not that matters.
Really?
Oh, dear.
Oh,
now
no,
I
he
don't
just-
know.
no,
Did you see him question me? Really?
Okay, that's good to know.
With that, we're going to wrap. Annapolis, for these two here, I like Regal Glory. Whatever direction you go, best of luck to you. It is the FanDuel Breeders' Cup Mile coming up on Saturday. Breeders' Cup Saturday, what a day that's going to be. Hopefully with glorious weather. Hopefully you making some money. New FanDuel customers bet the Breeders' Cup and get up to $100 back if your horse doesn't win. Thanks for watching Betting the Breeders' Cup.